Hello, everyone. I'm Marty Chinesky, and along with my good buddy Ken, there I am, good buddy Ken Brown, we're your hosts of Local Sports Wrap Up. Today is March 11th, 2024.
Yes, sir.
How was your week, sir?
Oh, man, beautiful week. Weather's changing. Spring is here a little bit. We got about 58 today, so time to get baseball going, softball going, and get those kids out there and doing some positive things like that.
I drove by Cabrini today. They had both baseball and softball out on the fields. Softball was huddled around pitcher's mound. They were talking about something, and baseball was out there shagging flies.
Yeah.
So everybody's getting their self started. I was all over this morning. I was over this after school over by the tennis courts, the Board of Education, and the girls' tennis team was out there, and they had a great drill. The girl runs across the baseline, coach hits a ball. Meanwhile, somebody up front runs across the baseline, and that girl tries to blow it past the girl at the front of the net who tries to beat it back at them.
Got you.
Some of them hit home runs over the fence, and, touch them all. But yeah, so everybody's out on a day like today. Softball tryouts for RHS were today, I know, and tomorrow and the next day.
Okay.
So that they're probably, if I was them, I'd be on the football field. But heck, I think soccer tryouts were going down too. So who knows where they were all at? Maybe they're in the gym.
Yeah. No, it's that time, like you said. I know my daughter's softball team at Renaissance. They tried out this week. So here we go and get ready for it. But still March 11th. So that means it's March Madness, right?
Yeah, you can't wait, huh?
Yeah.
When's the plane leaving?
The 20th. We're in the
20th.
air,
Yeah, so I'll have you here next week.
Yeah, we'll be here.
All right, good.
And but even for high school, still March Madness.
Yes.
Yeah, they're playing. They're getting things going. A lot of basketball, boys and girls.
Boys are about a week ahead of the girls. People have clinched their region. One team in particular, River Rouge, took care of Woodhaven on the 7th. Big score. It was 69-47.
Yeah.
Run and gunning.
Yeah. Rouge has a great program, obviously, and we know that they're going to play at Callahan Hall here next week, I guess, or this week, really.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they're playing. Who did we say they were playing? They were playing.
North Farmington.
There you go.
Yeah, they're playing North Farmington tomorrow.
That should be a good game over at Callahan Hall, huh?
Yeah. And I saw that North Farmington, they played at Renaissance last week. They played Warren de La Salle. So they must obviously beat them. I didn't see the game. I just saw the buses there when I was picking my daughter up from school. So I'm sure they got a pretty good team if they could beat Warren de La Salle. So
I think when you get to this point, now the brackets have about 16 teams in them. You get to this point, you're doing all right. You know, you didn't get here by accident.
yeah, it's a successful season. I agree, Coach, 100%.
We also, another local team playing tomorrow is Gabriel Richard. They're playing Jackson Lumen Christi over at your old stomping grounds, Ypsi Lincoln.
Yeah, Ypsi Lincoln, yeah. That was the country to us, but it was the Rail Splitters and the Braves, and they were always Class C and we were Class A. But yes, and they had the kid that went to Eastern. We went to Memphis. His name's Amani Bates. He went to Memphis. He was like a sensation. Played for Penny Hardaway for a minute, and then he went to came to Eastern to finish, and now he got drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. That guy was from Ypsi Lincoln.
Another local team, I believe it's Division 4, Allen Park Inner City Christian. They've got a matchup against Kingston.
Okay.
I'm not sure where Kingston is.
Besides Jamaica, yeah, me neither. Kingston, it makes me think UP, but I don't know if they would be already coming down. Generally, they have those UP regionals up that way, and then as they, get closer and closer to it.
Keep it kind of grouped.
Yeah, but I think that's Kingsville. It'll be interesting. I'll find out.
In about a week, we'll be down to probably the final 8, maybe, or less.
Yeah, it's going fast.
Boys finals will be up, yeah. What about the girls' side? We had some local teams kind of hang around for a little bit.
Yeah. So last week, Trenton and girls, Trenton beat Woodhaven 60-51. And then Wyandotte beat Allen Park 43-16.
Nice.
And then Riverview beat Taylor 59-27. And then Dearborn actually beat Edsel Ford 49-30. So that gave them an opportunity to go into the district finals, right? So Wyandotte played against Riverview and Trenton played against Bedford. Wyandotte lost to Riverview 45-43.
Oh, heartbreaker.
Yeah, it's a tough loss. One bucket.
Yeah, and it could have been the last second, throw it up and hope. Who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows?
No, I like how you think, though. Just like you said, they're a mark away. You can always see how you could gain a point here, a point there. So I know Coach, and we know her. She played with our kids. Anyway, the coach for
Hamilton.
Hamilton. I know Coach Hamilton's probably a little sad that they lost 45-43, but they have nothing to be embarrassed about.
Not at all.
And they got to the district finals, so they did their part. Trenton, on the other hand, they lost in the district finals 74-33. So they got handled a little bit by Bedford. And as things are coming, so this week, Belleville's going to play Novi. Cass Tech will play Fortson, Dearborn-Fortson. Bedford will go ahead and play Riverview because they were in that same district, or two different districts right next to each other. Dearborn Divine Child will play Carlton Airport.
I think some of them games are going on as we speak.
Yeah, I think
so.
today.
Today
Yeah, the
is
11th.
the start, yeah.
And then the last, there's two more downriver teams that'll be taking place in Division III. Allen Park, Cabrini will take on Ypsi Arbor Prep, which is funny. I mean, it's Ypsi Arbor, right? Ypsi and Ann Arbor. So that's a charter school. I saw, they were really good in girls basketball about 5 years ago, and they had won like state championships. It's almost like they put that school together for basketball.
You know what? Those charter schools can pick and choose.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. And then the last one, you talked about the boys, Allen Park Inner Baptist. Inner City Baptist. They're going to play Lutheran West.
That's the girls' side.
For the girls' side.
And I believe last year the girls were Final Four.
Yeah.
They got all the way to MSU, where they think that's East Lansing's where they had their finals.
Sure.
And they were Final Four last year. Yeah. And so now they're still cruising right along. We'll have more information, obviously, next week.
And I'm sure the Riverview girls, the Lady Pirates, are hoping that they do as well as the boys did, because the boys won the region.
Yeah, and I believe the girls last year were played in the state final game, I believe, if not mistaken. They had a big, sorry. The girl last year that carried them, I think she was just a junior. So if my memory, it's a year ago, but I believe she might be back.
We'll check. Hopefully they'll win.
We'll know more next week.
Yeah, hopefully they'll win. It looks like Bedford's tough. They won by 30 against Trenton.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That's going to be a tough game no matter what. But no, man, I'm super excited, man. It's March Madness in both boys and girls high school basketball. So it's time for them to get to the nitty-gritty. We did have a downriver team play for a state championship this week, too.
We did, in hockey. Our Trenton. And, Trenton's got plenty of history in that thing. They've got 14 state titles in Division I and Division II. They're Division II school now. And, you got to play schools like Cranbrook and, these Detroit Country Day and, all these schools that have, they support their hockey.
No, they got money. Yeah.
Right. That's one way to say it. But Trenton took it on the chin after a 0-0 first period. They turned around and they gave up 4 goals in the second. Went down 4-0. The final score was it went 2-0 on a power play, and then right after a power play ended, and Trenton got a goal back.
Sure. About
6 minutes later, 2-1. But then the floodgates opened. A lot of penalties against Trenton from the article I read, and it's unfortunate that the refs should swallow their whistle a little bit. But then again, I don't want to stick up for Trenton because they're good anyway. As their coach said, I'm taking nothing away from these guys. You know, we got to the state finals.
Sure.
Just because we didn't win, you know, they worked hard. You know, they're a good group of kids, and he's going to have a bunch returning. You know, they're not all seniors.
Sure.
You know, hockey teams are smart that way. They don't do that.
Yeah.
But
They lost to Byron City, right? Byron Center, which is in the Grand Rapids area. Now, Byron Center was actually on a come up itself because last year they lost
in the last game.
In the runner, they were the runner up, right?
Yeah.
And then in 2021, they were the runner up. So they were making tracks to come this way. And I want to say that they had like a 27-2-5 record or something like that. So they were a really good team even coming into it. Now Trenton wasn't shabby at all itself.
No, they're 23-5-2.
Yeah.
That's pretty good of you to think of that, because that's about, you're dead on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got one kid, man, Frosland. He had a hat trick. Basically in the second period.
Yeah.
You know, so he had a according to the article, he had a sniper goal, like shot it from about 30 feet, you know, sniped it right in. Then he got a scrap goal. It was laying in front, and he tipped it, and it just got in, you know. Then he come down the wing one more time and blasted it right, you know, by the goalie. So
And then had an assist as well.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So he had 4 points before the second, right after it was 1-0, I guess. He had 4 points, and then, like you said, Trenton scored a goal. I like what his coach said. He says big-time players stand up in big-time games, and he was their goal scorer, their leading goal scorer all season. So he definitely made it happen in the biggest game of his life. And they called it the Orange Crush. I can only imagine that it was they wear orange.
Yes, and the one thing about their 5 playoff games, they outscored their opponents 30-3. So if you're putting the puck in the net and you're keeping it out of your net, you're going to have good success in the game of hockey.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
know what I mean? Now, if the Wings could just think about that for a minute, they've just run into a 5 or 6 game losing streak, and now they're not even in the playoff picture.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think they're a point out right now, which is they had an 8-point cushion there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. But like any game, man, it's ebbs and flows,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's ebbs and flows. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs.
I'm not jumping off the bandwagon
not at
just yet.
And congratulations to Trenton, man. Runner-up's nothing to be, upset about. It's definitely a great time for them. And like you said, those kids got plenty of kids coming back. They'll be back. And just like you said, 14 state championships, they have a lot of tradition. The last one was in 2014, though.
Yes, it was. And that's one thing about finishing second. There are a whole bunch of teams would like to be right where you were. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
There's at least 50. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I want to be playing for that. And I always say that about the bowling. You know, so what? You snuck in and you made it to the state finals, and you had the lowest score, and you qualified. You know, you qualified 7th in our region, and our region had the lowest scores. So what? You know what? There's 400 other girls wanting to be right in that spot.
Right there. No, you're right.
You're one of the 56 best bowlers of the state of Michigan, and there's no way to take that away from you.
No, I love that.
You know,
I love that.
that works out well.
And I'm excited for the Rouge boys. You know, they've had some success in football and they've had some success in basketball, but for them to get to Callahan Hall is a great honor in itself, man. Callahan Hall this weekend that game will be played, or this weekday, is always rocking. They have 2 games, it's like a 5:30 and a 7. So you get, a double header for your price of admission, and it's always a nice turnout.
And I'll say this, that, Callahan Hall isn't really overly large. You know what I mean? So they get all these fans in there. It'll be rocking.
No, it'll be great,
It's
man.
not like playing at a like Little Caesars or anything like that. It's not humongous.
No, it fits the venue. The venue fits the high school championship mode. So no, I look forward to it. I'll probably try to go check that out, Coach. I'm not telling
Hey,
the story.
you got free time on your hands.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Well, we have an athlete of the week for Roosevelt High School, and he is sophomore Eli Shimko. He is a diver on the swim team.
Wow.
And the state finals for swimming just came down, but he was a qualifier in diving. I don't have his results. We didn't have a chance to look it up today. I've had a busy day.
Yeah.
And but he was undefeated in the dual meets, first place in the Downriver League meet and the Wayne County meet, and 7th place in the regionals.
And he's a sophomore.
Yeah.
Now, I've been in a lot of places in Roosevelt High School, you know, because our kids play basketball, volleyball, softball, things like that. But you know what? I have not seen where they dive from.
Where
I
the
haven't
pool
seen,
is?
Yeah. You've been in there?
Yeah, we wait for the bus for bowling right there by those doors.
Okay.
You know where the gym is?
Yeah.
You know the hallway that leads to the AD's office? If you go down that hallway, the pool is to your right,
Okay.
behind the wall. You'll never see it.
Yeah. More importantly, when you say that a kid's diving, are they diving off of platforms?
3-meter springboard, I'm sure.
So they're doing like dive.
They might have the high board
You know what
too.
I'm talking about?
They
Like
might
they
have the high board.
It looks like a cliff. I
Right,
don't know.
it's not like a cliff. No, they're not doing the Olympic 4-story
Okay.
high dives,
Oh, okay.
but they're doing the springboard.
All right.
You know that I know of. I don't think they have a high springboard. For Division I, Ann Arbor Pioneer did win their 4th straight Division I championship, so there's a lot of squids in there.
Yeah.
Another powerhouse school.
Oh, dang.
You know, Division II, the Birmingham Groves. And they beat their crosstown rival, Birmingham Seaholm, 245 points to 244 points.
Oh.
And it's all based on points given as you're racing. You know, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. That's how that works. And in
So-
Division III, Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook defended its title in dominating fashion, scoring 380 points. There's no money in Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook, is there?
Not a bunch.
Not like we have around here.
No.
Nowhere near.
They got shallow pockets. Yeah.
And that their hockey team's always solid.
Yeah, swim team's dominant. Yeah. And if you think of it, if it was 400, you said it was 245 to 244,
in the
right?
Division II.
Yep, so that's 89, 489. But if they scored 380, then that sounds like they left 109 points out there for the other team.
Well, East Grand Rapids was 243.
Okay,
It looks like it's a Final Four all play at once.
okay.
In the Final Four, and then the points are given accordingly.
Yeah.
So there's 4 schools competing all at once.
Yeah. No, I'm envious of all those kids. You know, I swim like a rock, even though I am a Pisces. I don't swim well, you know. So we definitely, I give them kudos for even trying. And that's why I had that question about that diving board. I couldn't imagine jumping off a 3-story into some water.
It's a lot of fun diving off high stuff. We used to jump from the edge of my deck. Like if you had a pool deck, we had a bench on the back, and there was about 7 or 8 feet of deck, and I could stand on that back bench that my dad had built that you just sat on, and I could dive forward and clear all that 7 or 8 feet.
Wow.
And hit the water. Crazy if you ever missed, but we were young and fearless and lighter. I was a lot lighter.
Now the thing that probably got me off of that is we used to go to a place where it's a train track, right? So you stand up there, and if a train comes, you're gonna have to jump in. But kids were going to just jump off on purpose, you know what I mean? And I never did because I
Not
knew
down
how
in
I
Monroe,
swam.
was it?
No, it's in Ipsy.
Oh, okay.
It was definitely in Ipsy. But our football team used to go out there. Team bonding, I think that's what they call it now. We'll say, yeah, we had fun. You know.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've jumped off some pretty high things over time
I got a little
into some shallow water.
and that's the most dangerous part. Hey, for parents though, I'm talking about being in Vegas on March 20th for March Madness, but there's a parent meeting for the track team. So track and field is having a parent meeting at the Roosevelt cafeteria at 6 o'clock on March the 20th. So if your kid's gonna run track, please attend this meeting. It's gonna be in the cafeteria at 6 o'clock next Wednesday.
I know who will be there. Lauren Marino will be there.
Yeah. And she'll be have on some blazing track shoes and
She
ready
runs
to go.
faster than she bowls.
And that's good.
I always tried to speed her up a little bit, do what I could. Don't like to change what they are. You know, just try to get them a little better.
Yeah, you go from an asset-based approach, just as you should.
I will say that you can still register for the Wyandotte Braves, baseball and softball. Time is running out, though. You will have to pay a late fee. But they had registration, I believe, a Sunday ago. And the Wyandotte Braves, go see Mike Mahalik. He was always good to us, and they've taken great, they're doing great with the fields now. And they're all clay-based now, where they don't absorb all the water. It runs off, and you get a lot of time. A lot of you can play in the rainouts.
Now this is kind of cool, and we talked about this kid over the last few weeks. Stephen Androni, the wrestler, all-state. He was an all-state wrestler, came in 6th place, and he finished at the MHSA state final. So he was crowned all-state, Stephen Androni.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think top 8 would be all-state. Yeah. So the one other kid, he would have been in too. Wyandotte might have had 2 all-staters. Sandroni, the heavyweight?
I think he was 215.
Yeah. Okay.
285 was the big guy. I don't think he made it back to that last bracket to be all-state.
Right. So RHS has figure skating, and they are the district champions in figure skating. I mean, if you have a hockey team, you might as well have a figure skating team. But I'll tell you right now, the hockey players don't want to give up that ice time for them figure skaters because they put holes in the ice, them figure skaters.
Oh, with the spin moves? Yeah.
Plant that foot and kick. But we have Natalia Michaelis and Rebecca Kubiak. They were district champs in level B. And Rebecca, Adrian Denosi, and Abigail Durham in the level C team. So both teams qualified for competition, which was yesterday.
Okay.
We do not have results yet. We were trying. Our producer was trying. We just did not get any results yet. MHSAA's website, we dissected that today. Yeah. They were a little behind on that too.
And I wonder if that figure skating would translate to competitive cheer, competitive dance. I mean, they're on routines. Yeah, they got to put on skates, but I wonder if those teams that really did really well in competitive cheer, could they have a good figure skating team?
I think so. Allen Park, Liliana Knapp, she was 5th at the skating championships on Sunday, so we did get one result.
Okay.
But yeah, I think you're absolutely right, except cheer's going on at the same time.
Sure.
Because we just talked about that last week, about Allen Park and Woodhaven getting bounced to 4th.
Yeah.
And Carlson sneaking into 2nd.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it'd be hard for them to do both.
Yeah.
But then you've got the regular cheer, you've got the competitive, so they do that stuff all year round.
Just seemed like the routines, like the dance type routines would be why it would fit.
Yeah. Well, you ever seen synchronized swimming?
Yes.
Ecorse High used to have one of the best synchronized swimming teams in the state.
That's amazing.
It's crazy to think about it in like the 1970s.
That's amazing.
And everybody there swam. All the kids in there. I used to date a girl from Ecorse, and I married one from Ecorse. So I married 2 from Ecorse. Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So So and they had, they all did the synchronized swimming. My current wife Kimmy, my ex Cindy, they all in high school. They all did that.
Makes sense though. You're close to the river. You should be able to swim.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. Got anything else there?
There's a lot going on, but I think we touched everything that I have in front of me.
That's good. Well, we got a couple minutes to kill. And like I said, our poor Red Wings. Lions made a move as I was driving up today. They got a defensive end / linebacker from Minnesota. I want to say, why do I want to say Donaldson? But it's not Donaldson. It's something like that.
I got you.
But, they don't even know how much they signed for because it just happened at like 6 o'clock.
Is it going to make a difference?
You know what? If you have an extra bodies around, I think is the way the Lions, you look at depth. You go down, next man up. He can compete equally. where before guy went down, next guy up, couldn't compete equally. There was a big step.
Sure.
And the Wings had that same problem too. Now they've lost their captain for a little while, and they're on this losing streak, and they just put a new sponsor on their thing, and they're 0-6 with this new sponsor on their little shirt, and everybody's losing their mind, especially my daughter. She's losing her mind. This little garbage company sponsor, whatever. And it's like waste management, you know what I mean? But it's right there on the lapel, and they're 0-6 with that new logo. So what do?
Yeah.
You rip it out of there?
No, you can't. You got that money, right?
Right.
Yeah, no, you got to keep
So
it.
you just keep saying it's not the logo. It's not
definitely
the logo. It's not
we
the
gotta
logo.
play better.
But it
yeah.
is the logo.
It looks
I don't
like
bowl in white socks because I can't bowl in white socks.
Oh, yeah?
No, I bowled bad one time in them, so that's all it took. Got to eliminate the negatives, you know.
Definitely. You know, the crazy part is the Lions did well because they had a really good record, but the Pistons did not do so well. The Tigers didn't do well last year. They were expecting bigger things this year. So, come on,
All right.
Detroit, step up.
Yeah, we're getting the wrap up. So Ken Brown, Marty Chinesky, Local Sports Wrap Up. Want to say hi to my mom. Keep watching them shows on YouTube, Mom. I go in there and we watch them together. So we'll see you next week. We'll talk more basketball. We'll have a lot more results and what's going down on the girls' side and the boys' side. Have a good week, everybody.